What is up, guys, and welcome back to my very first actual Fortnite video that wasn't a stream. Now, little does anybody know, but I've actually been playing quite a lot, not little, of Fortnite since I last streamed it. I streamed it, I think, a second time, or at least I wanted to, and I actually quite enjoyed the game, but I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to actually record videos on it. Now, you guys aren't getting a face cam with this video, it is just audio this first time, but you guys should be getting face cam in the next week's challenges, because I'm going to be doing the weekly challenge reviews, and I'm going to be showing you everything there is to know about how to beat the hidden things. Not the easy ones like to get kills with certain weapons, but looking for certain things. Like this week we have to look for a battle star. I'm gonna have a video on that, and this video is not just 7 that you need, but all 20 of the lightning bolts that you can grab. You can choose any of the 20. I wanted to get all 20 instead of just 7. That way, you know, if one's, say, like one of them's at Tilton. Now, I don't like dropping Tilted, so you guys might not want to drop Tilted. So if one of those 7 options is Tilted and you don't want to drop there, that kind of ruins the game for you. So I'm going to make a video explaining where all 20 of them are. That way, no matter what your playstyle is, no matter where you want to drop or like dropping, you can get a lightning bolt each game, no matter what. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the first 2 places we have aren't actually going to appear for me because I've already gotten them, which is why I'm putting them on the list first. So the first one's going to be at the very back of the map, back here by the water. I'm pretty sure this is where it was. I know it's on the back somewhere, so I mean if you start here and just walk backwards, like towards the lazy area, I can't remember what the place is called, you should find one there. The next one is also one that is invisible, but it's right here on the hill that's right past Risky, on where the tree is that I like to drop, but you know, don't really drop there much anymore now that Risky's there. But this is where the second one is, and it's invisible because it's the last one that I've gotten so far. Third on the list is between Tomato and Lazy here in Death Valley. I call it Death Valley because if you're down there and other people are on the sides, you are going to die. Now you're going to need quite a bit of materials to build up to this, and be very careful because if someone destroys it, you will probably die from falling. Fourth on the list is going to be right outside of the evil villain base. Pretty easy to see, but these next ones aren't going to be at actual named locations, so they might be just a tad bit harder to find. The fifth one you'll find between these 2 mountains just past Haunted, on your way probably to what's going to be Pleasant. So that one's pretty easy to find. It wasn't really one of the harder ones to find, but we will get to those harder ones, I promise. The next one is at another unnamed location, but it's pretty well known. It's at the motel. Pretty easy to see, even if you're just waltzing by it or flying over. It's not exactly hidden, but there are a couple that took me quite a while to find. The next one is actually at the secondary factory from Flush Factory. Now this one is a little bit hard to find only because it's kind of out of the way and not a whole lot of people go here, especially if you're going to go Flush. But if you're going to go Flush, that has plenty of materials and plenty of loot to grab. Might as well swing through here and grab yourself a lightning bolt. Now this next one is actually a really hard one. This is one of the 2 that took me absolutely ages to find, and is next to this bridge right by Shifty Shafts. It's not exactly the hardest one, because I found this one probably the 15th one I found, but it was decently hard to find, so that's why it's on this list of, you know, hard ones to find. The hardest one to find, absolutely, is the last one I found, and I almost gave up and left it at 19, because I was thinking maybe it's 19, but our 20th one, the one I found, is going to be next to this wooden bridge in between the Big Desert and Salty Springs. Now this one, not a whole lot of people go here, this is why I couldn't find it, but this one was absolutely difficult to find and kind of out of the way, but also on the way in a way. Now we have named locations, and the first one we are going to find is pretty much in the very center of Dusty. Now this is a great one to get because Dusty is an absolutely wonderful place. Now I absolutely love it. I got some good games there earlier, and it was actually the first one I found but I didn't grab it. The next one is actually in Wailing Woods. It's going to be towards the back, but above the tree line. It's a little bit hard to see, as you can tell from this gameplay, but my gosh, you have so much wood to gather from those trees. That's not exactly a hard one to get either. The next one is actually next to the main temple over at Lucky Landing. Now, not a lot of people go to Lucky because it's all the way down at the bottom. So if you want a lightning bolt that's really just easy to get, you don't want to die trying to build up to it like you do with most of these, then this is probably a lightning bolt that you'd probably want to go for. Now, this next one is one that I don't advise going for at all. It's actually in the center of Tilton. Now, the problem with this one is you have to gather materials and build up to it, all the while people are gathering materials and a whole bunch of loot all around you, ready to just kill you pretty much instantly. So unless you're passing through Tilted later on in the game, this isn't one you might not want to go for this one at the very beginning, pretty much immediately after landing. Next is going to be pretty much in the center of Greasy Grove. Pretty decent place to go, a lot of loot. It's a pretty easy lightning bolt to get. It's not that high up, so you don't need that many materials to get it, especially if you build out from the building that I'm standing on here. Next on the list is one of my favorite places to go, and that is Junction. So there's one here, but if you land by a chest that I land at, but I die pretty much immediately after, it is pretty easy to get with the materials that you'll get out of the chest, since you only get 20. So that one's a pretty darn good one to go for, as long as you aren't me and die pretty much immediately. The next one is over at Loot Lake by the factories at the end of the dock. Now, this is a pretty easy one to get because it's not high up. You can build right off the dock. It's pretty easy. So I kind of advise going for this one. However, if you fall down and get trapped in the water, it could lead to a pretty easy death. Next on our list is over at Lonely Lodge. It's going to be by the tower here. Now, the tower is actually a pretty decent place to land. You got a possible 3 chests spawn there, and then a bunch of items just on the way down the stairs. So just from the chests that could spawn, you could, build over to it, grab it real quick, go down the tower, and then loot the rest of the Lonely Lodge all to yourself. Next is actually going to be at a new place. It is Paradise Palms. Now, this one is kind of hard to go for. It's behind the main building. As you can see, it's a pretty difficult place to survive because a ton of people are going here because it's brand new and there's tons of loot. So honestly, it's kind of like Tilted in a way, where you might not want to go at the very beginning of the game because you're probably just going to end up dying in the attempt. The next one is at Salty Springs. Oddly enough, this one took a little bit of time to get, or to find, only because I don't really go to Salty all that often. There's so many better places nowadays with all the new updates, and Paradise Palms is one of them, where I just don't go there very often, but there are still a lot of people there, so I do caution if you're going there to just kind of take everyone out first before you go for the lightning bolt, because you're going to run into those Tilted or Paradise Palm situations where you just end up dying really fast. And last but not least, the last lightning bolt is in the housing part of Retail Row. Now, this one's not a bad one to go for. Retail Row is certainly busy during this time, only because the battle pass is going on right now and you need to get eliminations for this week's challenges. But as you can see here, I don't think I was able to get a good view of it. I tried to get one good look, and that was it. There were so many people around me. I just wanted to get the look and get out of there because I had no guns, and I'm like, there's so many people here that I'm just gonna end up dying really, really quick without them. And that about wraps it up for this video. This video actually took so long to make because I didn't look any of these up. I looked throughout the map myself over the course of the past 2 days. This video would have been out a lot sooner. However, I ran into a problem with actually getting into the game on Thursday and Friday because they were having, those server issues, and they had to take the servers down for a little bit. And then there was the queues everyone had to wait in, and it was absolutely terrible. But yes, I found all 20 locations for you guys, so you guys can get these lightning bolts no matter where you land, or no matter what your playstyle is. You can easily get this battle challenge done. So that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
That's it, Brian?